thank you all for coming to the premiere event of the Baltimore Comic-Con. I think we all know what we're here for. This is
I actually don't know why I'm here.
You don't know why you're here?
I talked to your publicist. I thought she told you. Oh, that wasn't. Oh, come on. Bad start. No.
So I guess we'll start off with a couple introductions, and to do that with absolutely no introduction whatsoever. Here we have Mr. Brian Michael Bendis. And of course, Robert Kirkman. So I think we're going to just...
Who are you?
My name's C.B. Samolsky. I don't know what I'm doing because I just got called in to do this. So
we realized about a second ago that this had no shape to it, so CB was generous enough to come up here blind and give us kind of a moderated format. So.
I called his publicist, but he seems to be acting like
it didn't work the first time. Move on.
And I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, and things we want to discuss here. We're going to run it as kind of an open forum. But I think just as Brian said, to provide a little bit of context to this, first and foremost, let's everyone in the room give a big round of applause to Robert for becoming one of the newest partners at Image Comics. In 1981, when Image first launched, it was an unprecedented move in the comics or in any industry really to have 7 of the top creators in any industry leave and form their own company, and it's they've been that solid group of creators with some changes over the years. It was the first time living member in, and it's an unprecedented step, and it speaks to Robert's talent and popularity. And anything you'd like to say to that regard?
Very flattering. Very excited.
All right.
It's all old news to me now. So
All right. And part of the reason I think this panel came about is we've all seen the now infamous green screen manifesto online, to which Robert had a lot to say about the state of the industry, and kind of tried to motivate all the companies and the publishers across the industry to a sort of call to arms. And many creators that spoke up. Brian was one of the most vocal online to it, on his message boards and in the podcast. And it opened up a lot of debate, and I think that's a debate that we're here to continue today. Now, do you guys want to say something to open this up, and then we can open it up to questions and go from there?
I would just like to. We got kids in the audience and young. Fuck you, Brian Bendis.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
She's having a lot of fun.
Fuck you. That's a good point. All right. Thanks for coming. I actually, we, and also Robert just admitted he didn't think that joke was going to work. Thank you for admitting it did. It worked. Okay. So, Robert, and do you want to say what you said in the video, or do we have the video?
I'd like to start by saying that Brian is a friend. We're friends. We're buddies. We're good guys. We have known each other for a while. Brian has helped me out in a lot of very crucial points in my career, and I appreciate that. And I hope that nothing said tonight, excuse that in any way. I love you. I'll take a bullet for you. So I'm happy with that. That's just something you say. Thinking about that, I would probably hide behind you.
Do you have the video to show? The original video?
I do not.
Do you want to express to people what you said?
I can reiterate a bit what I was going to
Do
say.
you need a green screen and the banjo music? Or?
I would prefer, yeah. I need to get like this. And
Yeah. The serial killer face, can you get it? It was a little serial killer. If you shot up a bunch of people, that's the video they show, and you go, yes, look at it.
I'll try and be less rambling this time. I had just come back from San Diego, and I was very excited about comics, and the Image thing had just happened, and I was looking towards the future. And I just know from being at comic book conventions and talking to other creators that there are a lot of comic book creators at Marvel and DC who would like to do more creator-owned work, or would like to do creator-owned work at all, and feel like it is too much of an uphill battle, or that it's too difficult, and it's not worth trying. And so part of the thing I wanted to do was just kind of stand up, as I had recently left Marvel, and say, I'm going all creator-owned. It can be done. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it'll work for everyone, but you know, if you want to give it a shot, it can be done, and it should be done. And you know, that was part of it. And then the other thing was that thinking about it and just running through a few possibilities in my head, I kind of figured that something like that happening could actually benefit the industry as a whole if it would force Marvel and DC to, you know, in turn, start gearing their books a little more towards children and hunting down a audience that we're kind of ignoring right now. And you know, looking at the audience right now, I see a lot of old faces, and it scares me, frankly. I think that you know, the bigger companies and you know, Image and Dark Horse and everybody are catering to a locked-in fan base that is going to dwindle as time goes forward, and that kind of terrifies me. And so, you know, I just wanted to kind of point that out and kind of shine the light on it. And I've got some discussion going. I think that's a good thing. I don't think I have all the answers or many answers, but you know, I just wanted to point that out, and here's my new video game. So there you go.
And my response was, I thought that Robert, though well-intended, and though I of course agree, and have lived the life of a creator that creates creator-owned books, literally since I knew how to write and draw, you know, like physically as a child, and been doing this, and still to this day do it. Of course, I agree that you should do it, and I think for any artist or writer of any type, that it's an immensely important experience to feel what it feels like to produce something whole that did not exist prior to your existence on the planet. But in your diatribe, or whatever we'll call it, you were using yourself as an example, which I thought, I was worried that you didn't realize that you were breathing, and I also am breathing rarefied air. Rarefied air. I like the rarefied air. No, because there are certain creators and there are certain people who are able to do both, or have had success in doing both. You and I, and Ed Brubaker and Mark Millar, all of which it would be ridiculous not to realize it's rarefied air that we breathe, that we are able to do some things that other people aren't allowed to do. I don't know how long we're going to be able to do them. It's show business. I know there's a shelf life, but for now, it's rarefied air. Yeah. So, in your call to arms, I was worried that what you were expressing wasn't accurate. That truthfully, most creator-owned books fail. Should you not make them because you think they'll fail? No, you should. But you should know going in, you're probably going to fail. Just like if you were making a movie, or even if you got a record deal to make an album, probably no one's going to see or hear it. That's just, you know, there are tons of albums come out every year, tons of movies come out every year. They don't even get DVD released. They hit a festival and they disappear. No one ever sees them again. So I just want, and though I'm Debbie Downer, I thought it was very clear, go ahead and make your comic, but the life Robert's leading is not the life you're going to get to lead. And if you're a filmmaker, you work in a video store, everyone thought they were Tarantino that year, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to be clear to anyone, and I hope everyone in this room sits down and tries to make a comic. That'd be awesome, that would be amazing. But know that unless you know, God shines down on you, there's not going to be an opportunity for it to be seen. So know that going in, and just don't care. You know, the whole time I was at Image, you know, up until, you know, I was on Ultimate Spider-Man, I was doing a book, and I don't usually talk numbers, but I'll be frank here because we're talking about stuff. Torso never sold more than 2,200 copies, which meant that sold 100 copies more than it needed to make a profit. Like I just inked out break even, which means that thank God for Jim Valentino and Larry Martyr and Eric Larson, that they were kind enough that I wasn't embarrassing them, I wasn't annoying anybody. Go ahead and make another one if you want to. If a check for $75 is enough for you